Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews. Angry Andy Reviews. Angry Andy Reviews. Angry Andy Reviews.
Don't make me destroy you.
Hello and welcome to Angry Andy Reviews. And yesterday, whilst I was at work, the PS5 Pro was announced, much to everybody's lack of surprise. Now, what was surprising in the end was the sheer price of it all. My word. We'll get to that in just a minute, but here we are on the PlayStation website for the UK website, and we'll get to the UK pricing soon. And here it is in all its glory. The PS5 Pro comes with a controller, and it's got some nice lovely ridges down the side there for the fans, I imagine, because this is a beefed up, souped up mid-generation expansion of the PlayStation 5 as it is, and it features the big three, as they mentioned during the presentation by Mark Cherney. So PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution PSSR. So you get super sharp image clarity on your 4K TV using AI enhanced resolution for ultra high definition play with astonishing details. That sounds fine. Good. Are you going to show any new games that feature that, or are you just going to show old games, which is all they did in this presentation? They just showed a list of old games: The Last of Us 2, God of War 2, Spider-Man 2, Ratchet and Clank, games that everybody's already played. I mean, The Last of Us 2, how many times are they going to release that? Are they releasing it again for this? Are they just beefing it up again? My word, come on. And then next one, optimized console performance, so reach higher and more consistent frame rates for silky smooth gameplay with support for 60 Hz and 120 Hz display. So you're looking at 60 frames per second native at 4K, 120 frames per second native as well for whatever, I would assume. And then it says advanced ray tracing, so they're pushing the boundaries for ray tracing. So they say experience next level realism with ray trace reflections, shadows, and high quality global illumination. There we go. PS5 Pro enhanced games. I mean, they're enhanced games. They all fucking should be. The Last of Us Part 1. Come on. It's a great game. These are great games, but we've played these to death. Until Dawn. Do we really want a PS5 Pro version of that? Give me a break. We'll move on. So yeah, there it goes. Play at 60 frames per second or up to 120 frames per second with 4K output and ray tracing for compatible games. So it's not for all games, it's for compatible games. So there's a little link there for latest games, whatever. So with the power of the PS5 Pro console, compatible games can be played at 60 frames per second or up to 120 frames per second with ray tracing and AI enhanced 4K resolution using PSSR, all at the same time on your 4K TV. You know, this is great. We all want better graphics. We all want better performance from our games. But as we'll get to it, there is a limit of what people should and be willing to fork out for, given the alternative on the market. And there we go. There's a nice, lovely picture of the PlayStation itself. I mean, that stand underneath is fucking egregious. It's terrible. That stand. What is that? They give you a magnifying glass. You're paying the amount of money you're going to pay for that? Fuck off. 2 terabytes of storage, next level online wireless connectivity. Man, come on, everyone should just be plugging this in straight into your internet at this point using the fucking LAN cable. Nobody uses wireless gaming unless you're stuck. PS5 Pro game boost and backwards compatibility, cool, fine, but it's PS4 backwards compatibility, no mention of PS3, PS2, PS1, nothing. You get a controller with it. Whether this is a new updated controller, I have no idea. There you go, there's a side picture of it. Ultra high speed SSD. Yeah, I'd expect a solid state drive, to be fair. Integrated I/O. Vibrant colours and crisp 4K. Yeah, I mean, great. So there you go. The thing I absolutely love, I think it's really egregious, and you probably can't see it on this one. I mean, it says there TV monitor that supports 2160, so 4K output. You're gonna have to have a beefy 4K TV. to even make this worthwhile. And we'll go to the blog post that they released yesterday, September 10th, 2024. Update: pre-orders will be available directly from PlayStation at directplaystation.com at participating retailers. On October the 10th, pre-orders will be available at all other participating retailers. It's 26th of September. Very soon, pre-orders are going up at directplaystation.com, followed by everywhere else, October 10th. It's been 4 years. So what they've done is they've upgraded the GPU. It's going to be pumping out 67% more. Superb. Alright, that's cool. Decent numbers. Enables 45% faster rendering for gameplay, making the experience much more smoother. Yeah, I mean, that's what we want. We want smoother gameplay, don't we? Game boost. But let's get to the nitty gritty, shall we? So right at the end of the video, a near 10-minute video where they were just showing footage of old games, comparing them side by side, which I have to be honest with you, I struggled really to see what the difference in detail was. You can see in places when they slowed it down, when they went into slow motion, you could see the better frames between the two versions of the games they were showing, but graphically they're only very minute. And when at the end of the video they came up with a nice blue screen with the console on it and the price point popped up, and it popped up with $699 US, 699 Great British pounds, 799 euros, 119,900 Japanese yen. £700. £700 for this. My word, I nearly fell off my chair. Oh jeez. Yeah, I watched this really late at night when I got back from work last night, and I couldn't believe it. I was absolutely shocked and baffled. And yeah, it comes with a 2TB SSD. You get a DualSense wireless controller. You get a copy of Astro's Playroom. Whoa, okay. And then you get beefier graphics. But is it worth? Is what we saw? Is what they're saying worth the extra £250 on top of what you've played for your PlayStation already, your PlayStation 5? I don't know. I'm not convinced. I was interested to see whether if they're gonna lamp it out, drop the PlayStation 5 down by about £100, $100 or whatever, $150, and then put this in around the $550, $600 mark. That might have been a bit of a, okay, it's something to consider, especially if they announced a new game along with it, which they didn't. But no, we're here at £700, $700, and it's discless. So it's discless, there's no disk drive. So you have to pay, if you want the disk drive, which I would, because I always buy the physical copies because you can resell them. I don't trade them in, I resell them, to try and get a little bit of extra back, because I don't keep games, I don't keep them. Once I'm done with them, I'm done with them. I sell them on to somebody else who's going to play them. I would need the disc drive because I don't want to pay the egregious prices for digital-only copies that PlayStation seem to be doing. And the disc drive itself is separate at £80. What? So already you're looking at 800 odd quid, £880, nearly £900 for this. And then to couple that, vertical stand sold separately, so you don't even get this piece of shit plastic.
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
That's on display in the footage and in the marketing pictures. You don't even get that piece of shit plastic. Now I don't use a vertical stand. I bought a third party fucking stand so I can lie it flat and all that and give it a bit more air to breathe. But for somebody who's going to stand this up and paying that amount of money, you'd want that piece of shit bit of plastic, this right here, you'd want that included. Well, why are they not including that at all for £700? You fucking You bastards. Really, that is just money grubbing. So, if you want the full kit and caboodle, if you're going, I want to stand this up straight, because you probably won't be able to use the existing PlayStation 5 stand because it might be slightly different. So, you'd have to buy this if you want to stand it up. And then if you want the disc drive, you'd have to buy that. So, you're looking at about £1,000 nearly.
You serious?
£1,000 for this. My God, it is cheaper to buy a mid-range PC at this point. And considering PlayStation games are popping up on Steam, well, you may as well. You may as well, because then you can remove components and adapt them and upgrade them as you're going along. So yeah, pre-orders will begin September 26, 2024. But the price, and the news articles have sort of latched onto it as well. So this is the Metro over here in the UK. Sony has officially announced PS5 Pro in its release date, but the price is far more expensive than anyone ever imagined. Like I said, yeah, I figured they might go 550, 600, and drop down the PS5 this Christmas, to get those fucking people in. Drop the PS5 standard edition with the disc drive down to, 400 odd quid, and then whack in the PS5 Pro at 550, and people would fucking lap it up. They would absolutely lap it up. And I think it says here we're starting to worry about Sony. They've been so quiet and withdrawn the last 2 years with so few announcements. It's been hard to understand what their game plan is. And yeah, Concord massively failed very recently, and then they've announced this, and everyone has just lambasted it. I mean, it says there the console will be £699 in the UK. Yes, that's right, £700, and it doesn't have a disc drive with it. This is the problem. People are saying, well, are we all going to go digital? But people don't want to go all digital. Like I said, the cost of digital games, for example, Space Marine 2, I've got that for £49. On the PlayStation Store, it's 60 plus. Oh, of course I'll buy the physical if it's £10 cheaper. Of course I will. I'm not going to pay more. And here is the real kicker. So the console is $700 in the US, which works out at £535 when you use the conversion rate. At paying £700, if you convert that to dollars, £700 comes in at $900. So we in the UK are being ripped off there as well. Not only do we have to buy the disc drive, but we've got to get the fucking vertical stand and pay more as per the conversion rate. Admittedly, you US people will have to pay taxes. So there you go, you're paying taxes on the fucking thing as well. So we're all looking about £1,000 for this. I mean, here it actually has the price of the disc drive. The disc drive here is $99.99. Fuck me. And the vertical stand there, £24.99. So you are looking at 900 plus pounds. Oh, there are no new games being released alongside it. No. People there lambasting £700. It won't sell at all. I mean, who knows at this point? There are people out there that will buy it. The Verge here has lamented it with the lack of disc drive, and I think that seems to be the rhetoric. The lack of disc drive and sheer price is what putting people off massively. And here we go on X, Twitter. God, I've started calling it X. And here we just got people lambasting it and joking about it. PS5 Pro has lines across the middle of the console, which are a nod to the lines Sony executives were doing when they priced the thing. Trying really hard to see the difference between PS5 and PS5 Pro graphics. Yeah, I mean, looking at it intently, you can see slight differences. Are those slight differences enough to warrant spending £700? Because even if you trade in your PlayStation console, if you're still able to trade in, Game over here stopped allowing trade-ins. You can trade in at CEX, but if you get a couple £100, is it really worth then spending £400 or £500 on top of that to get the Pro after you've just sold your PS5 that you spent £500 for 4 years ago? No, absolutely not. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, yes, it is. The graphics are outpacing the consoles themselves, but when you look at Star Wars Outlaws, which utilizes the engines very, very poorly and doesn't do anything with the graphics capability of the PlayStation, what guarantees are you going to get the developers are going to use the raw processing power of the PS5 Pro? Nothing. You're not going to get any guarantees at all. The SpongeBob thing. Yeah, I don't understand SpongeBob, to be fair with you. $700 for a PlayStation 5, a PlayStation 5 Pro, Mr. Squidward. PlayStation 5 Pro. So he's adjusting the prices there, symbolising that they've done bugger all actually to it. Which, to be fair, I don't think is fair. I think they have boosted the output of this console, and you know the numbers are great. And if you're all about the numbers, then you're gonna lap it up like. And then there you go. I mean, this is from 14 hours ago, but the PS5 Pro revealed this is 78,000 dislikes and growing. A disastrous miscalculation on Sony's part. Where do you think they've gone wrong outside of the price? Tone deaf release, lack of new game footage, a lack of a new game showing off. I wonder if Concord was one they would have put on, you know, in this to showcase the graphics. Who knows? But that's just it. There's no first-party games. They're in the same issue as the Xbox. The first-party games are lacking. What really groundbreaking first-party game has there been for the PlayStation 5? We've had Spider-Man 2, we've had God of War 2, but it's all gone a bit too quiet, hasn't it? Yeah. I'm here again. You guys are selling disk drives separately for yeah. It's it's disgusting, isn't it? We have to pay $800 just to get the full experience. There's no way they thought this was okay. And there's somebody. Oh, there we go. Somebody's literally built. I put together a quick mid-range PC for about $1,300. PS5 Pro plus disk drive is $780. For about $500 more, you get all of this. And he's put in the components, and that's what I was saying. You know, you can go ahead and build a PC. You can go ahead and build a PC yourself and get the components and have it last longer, and then you can update those individual components if you're building a PC yourself. I've done it with this one. I changed the graphics card, I updated it, and you can make it last. With the PlayStation 5 Pro, it's going to last, what, 3-4 years before the PS6 comes out? $700, and the first game we saw running on the PS5 Pro was a PS4 game. Lol. I mean, yeah, I mean, come on. How many times are you going to beat us over the head with the same images, the same gameplay that we've seen before? Oh. PS5 versus PS5 Pro, a toothpick changes everything. Oh, it's just completely tone deaf. So there you go. Like, just scrolling through a few of the top tweets, posts recently, everything is just lamenting the average PS5 Pro owner. Yeah, exactly. Get a grip. And it's like scalpers when they buy 1,000 times PS5 Pro consoles, but no one is buying them. Picture and ghost has become a meme in itself. Yeah, it's completely tone deaf. It's completely tone deaf, and I think the worry across all sorts of walks of life really is, what does this mean for the PlayStation 6 and the Xbox whatever? Like, £700, $700. What does that mean when the PlayStation 6 comes around? And all this reveal is done for me. Instead of making me go, do I want a PS5 Pro? Could I swing it? Should I swing it? I like good graphics. I like smooth gameplay. You know, I'm not impressed with Star Wars Outlaws and how that performs. I wonder if they do something new. Instead of me thinking like that, instead this price point has made me go, holy shit, I need to start saving for the PS6. Because this is going to be the bottom rung price for a PS6. Guaranteed. This will be the bottom rung price. And it will be all digital. There will not be a disc drive with the PS6. If there is, it's because they backtrack because this fucking fails massively. And there's no guarantees this will fail massively because PlayStation fanboys and lap it up, don't they? You know, I wanted the PS5 straight away. I buy all the consoles that come out. I have the Xbox, I have the the PlayStation 5. I want the best of both worlds. I'm neither a fanboy of each or anything. They both have their strengths, but they both have their weaknesses. This weakness is that there are no fucking games for it. And the weakness here is that fucking price point. £700. That will be the base cost of a PlayStation 6. I would put money on it. I wouldn't put £700 on it, but I'd give you 10p as a bet that £700 is the base price. In around that we'll have for the PlayStation 6. And then they may say, well, we've got a disc version as well that costs £800. But that is it. That is it. So all this reveal, all this rhetoric of the last 20 hours or so, all it's done for me is go, I need to start saving for the PlayStation 6 that's going to release in 3 or 4 years, because this is whenever they announce a console generation refresh or a mid-generation upgrade, we're on the cusp of the end. So we're going to start seeing in the next 2 or 3 years talk of PlayStation 6. So start saving, fuck this off, bollocks to this. Absolutely bollocks to this, because I'm sorry PlayStation, but you're completely tone deaf. You're out of touch with what your audience wants, what your consumer base wants, or what your consumer base can simply afford. We're still in a global financial crisis. People can't afford this. People can't afford this. Which is why that post about building your own PC, because that registers as being an investment. It won't go out of date in 4 years. You may need to upgrade a certain aspect of it, but it's not going to become a brick. No. Vertical stand sold separately. It appears that, contrary to PlayStation's videos that play has no limits, I'm afraid play does have limits. And it's in the guise of £699.99 and 99 pennies. It's in the guise of $699.99. It's in the guise of the vertical stand is sold separately. Play does have its limits. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts on this PlayStation 5 Pro reveal. Will you be getting a second mortgage to buy this? What are your hopes and dreams for this? Will you be buying the vertical stand that is sold separately? God bless you if you do. My word, may the Lord have mercy on your soul and your bank manager's soul. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.